What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Just want to break down the markets really quick. We did have Powell speaking today, and then there's just no emergency rate coming, and I think we know Trump is hoping for that. Honestly, just to probably make the tariffs to justify them to make sense. I will say this: there's a couple things I'm looking out for as far as I might be walking back what I said a while back. Now I talked about actually just while having this conversation. Let's pull up the VIX. So I talked about the max fear. We saw that spike down in the market. Within 1 week of trading sessions, down 14%, up 10%. Things that could take a year to make those moves, we did inside of a week. The VIX spiked up right here, and I had puts on VIX. They do expire this week. But talking about the VIX coming down, the max fear I think is priced in. And that being said, so far it's all painting out, right? It's all looking good. Right now, if you look at the 10-year, we just don't know who is selling. And there's rumors going on that China is the one selling the 10-year, kind of forcing us to bring our rates higher. We can print our way out of that. We can raise rates, both of which puts the United States kind of between a rock and a hard place. Not a good spot to be in. And honestly, it kind of feels like we're playing chicken. If this rumor is true, we're kind of playing chicken with China. I don't usually like to talk about bonds because I'm not the pro. I'm learning, but I'll be. There's always like a learning phase for me. Like once I've done something for a year, then I'll talk about it. If you were with me in the beginning, I didn't talk about options. I was well into my options trading before I ever talked about it on YouTube. And that's kind of where I'm at with the bonds. But it's just kind of hard to ignore at this point with something that serious. So that being said, if turns out we are playing chicken with China, the thing is United States, we kind of did it to ourselves. We put all of our manufacturing overseas. We outsourced it because it was cheaper. But we kind of just gave everybody the tools to do everything. We don't actually need them, And if we are playing that game of chicken, do we need them? And can we stand on our own? Of course, I think we can. We'd have to bring manufacturing back, but that doesn't happen overnight. So I think things could get wild. Let me just say it's on the table. Things could get weird. Things could get wild, and it's definitely a disaster. Now, I am short the dollar, and I added on a couple times today, to be honest. U.S. CAD and U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. I went from trailing it, and I was like, we're going to be all right, to I'm adding on, and I might be really short the dollar here soon. Breaking that level, I kind of think we might be rocking and rolling back here. If you guys remember, I went really short. Like, hang on, we're on the weekly. We're back here. Now, I went really short the dollar. We were kind of hanging out. Anyway, it's been a good ride. I'm about to be that level of short again, just in case we break it to the downside to really weaken our system. Here's the dollar overall. So most of if we want to just talk about it, most of it kind of really plays out. Yeah, probably right inside here. We have our ups, we have our downs. A lot of the bulk here. We kind of just entered that. So I'm kind of looking for the dollar to go even shorter to maybe even the 94. Would absolutely be a dream world for me right now if the dollar went to 82. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But first and foremost right now, I'm kind of just thinking about just adding on. I might even, sounds very dangerous, remove stops. I don't know how I'm going to do this. If we do pop up, I'm looking for a green candle to really get short, and I mean here on the weekly. So what I'll probably end up doing is stopping out maybe about half my position. I'll reduce my stops to about half, pop back up, and then really jump in. I'll keep what I'm at short now, so if we enter a waterfall moment, I'm good. I make a bunch of money. But if we do jump up, I'll light my position, skip a couple green candles, and then really go short. So looking at the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, sorry, I can't talk. We didn't really bounce out of that zone. We didn't do anything. We found some at the type 1, here's some at the type 2. Nothing, which is kind of really just encouraging me to add on. And let's go into my other play, US CAD. Still, now this is why I did add on. We did get the bounce. We started headed back down, and I went in. So still going to be short that probably by quite a bit. Looking at Bitcoin, did absolutely nothing today, just trading sideways. I gotta say, more bullish than it is bearish. I think the way Bitcoin has been trending down nicely. I mean, just easy as butter, smooth as butter. Is butter smooth? That is a drenched in WD-40 pipe. I don't know how everyone take it. Just down. But we're starting to hold on. Again, the lower highs not as low, the lower lows not as low. It didn't really go anywhere. So let's see. First and foremost, we got to get above that 88 mark. Looking at the S&P, a little bit of a gap down, and then sold off. So this is why I had these zones highlighted. And I was actually a little bit more shocked that we got above it, but anyway, we're right back here, playing the back and forth game. So back to what I was originally stating before we started jacking around with this, because for a while there, since we didn't really reject, I thought we were gonna break through. Back to my original plan of we're probably gonna play the back and forth game right here. Looking at the NASDAQ. Now this is one I went short this morning, so shout out to I went short yesterday, and then we got the gap down. That was awesome, and then I went short again today this morning. The overnight chop got me out of that position. Went short again. I know quite a few followed on that trade, so shout out to you guys on that NASDAQ short. Wasn't a bad trade. But right now, here's the two big yellow zones. We dropped down to that, just the speed bump zone, kind of what I expect. Found a few buyers, and maybe we play the back and forth game. As of right now, this is a nothing week. I don't know. And again, Powell was the most of our fireworks this week. The markets are closed Friday. Not a lot of volume, so I don't think we do anything this week. But if we were to find out we're playing chicken with China for real and it's not just a rumor, we're coming down to this yellow zone to start the party off. I'll put it that way. So still looking for that. Depending on how we hit this yellow zone, really depends on if I'm buying right there. Even intraday trade for a bounce or anything like that. Given the circumstance, again, we could just be getting warmed up, and at that point, I might even look to go short for the break of that. As far as the expected moves, we've done nothing. We're well within our range. Looking at Grandpa Dow, did break the zone today. So there is a little, we'll chart out here just so everyone has it. A little speed bump zone right inside here. Call it speed bump zone. Color it blue for a reason. Kind of where you expect the turbulence. Could be a reversal, more likely not. If there's ever a knife catch play for me, it's a yellow zone, not really the blue zone. Blue zones for me are, I move up my stops. Maybe I take that as a time to add on to a position. Think it's going to go yellow to yellow. Everyone playing the W. One day, just not today. Did Russell do anything? Yeah, nothing. Kind of like a little weak W there. As far as meta goes, I do have the 500 puts sold, so I might get some shares. We'll see. And then it's Tesla, everyone's favorite. Again, doing nothing other than if you have sold calls, you're killing it. Do you want to talk about this? NVIDIA and AMD. Right, so NVIDIA just zone to zone. Holding up at that yellow zone right there at the expected move, just coincidentally stopping right there. Still having some buyers. I did sell the 100 strike puts on NVIDIA, and now I will take that if it does drop below. I will own those shares at 100. But again, remember, I got paid to buy it at 100, so my costs will actually be cheaper. And I don't mind owning NVIDIA at 100. AMD, I have not added on yet. I wanted to make sure the selling was going to stop first. Kind of looks like we might be there, so I told you guys I was going to buy AMD share. Everything else I'm selling puts. AMD I'm actually going to pick up shares. It looks like I'll be picking up shares probably tomorrow. I wanted to make sure we're just breezing on down. I could catch it at 80. So anyway, ladies and gents, I will wrap it up here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Tomorrow actually will be with Trader Merlin. He will be on the show. We'll talk about the whole market. I want to talk about the market crash with him. We know my opinion last time I was on. You guys saw that, but I might be walking it back. We'll see. Anyway, check that out tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed. It will be live, so if you want to jump in, ask us questions, make sure you're there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.